Thanks for giving me a few moments of your time. My name is Ole-Kristian at RES Software, and I know that you have busy days. Busy days making choices and finding the right direction in a world of change. Are we implementing Windows 7? Are we virtualizing our infrastructure? Should we virtualize our applications, our desktops? How do we manage it? How do we transition and do the migrations? The choices are many. And with all these choices and various options of technology and concepts, it is easy to get lost. And it's easy to lose track and focus of what is really important. It reminds me of a story about a man who was making a journey in a hot air balloon. He had also lost track. He did not know where he was, but he could see a man on the ground, so he descended and shouted to the man, "Excuse me, can you help me? I have made an appointment with a colleague of mine an hour ago, but I do not know where I am." The man on the ground looked up at him and was very concise in his answer. He said, "Sir, you are in a hot air balloon, approximately 32 feet above sea level. You are at 15 degrees, 18 minutes and 12 seconds east, 45 degrees, 18 minutes and 4 seconds north." That was a very concise answer. So the man in the balloon just looked down and said, "You just have to be a technologist." The man on the ground looked up and replied immediately, "Yes, I am. But how could you tell?" "Well, that is because all the information that you have given me is indisputable, exact and technically correct. But I have no clue how to make use of this information. And I do still not know where I am. And the only thing that I have achieved so far is to become more delayed." The technologist looks up again and he says, "Well, you, sir, you just have to be one of those executive managers." "Yes, that is correct, but how can you tell?" "That is easy," says the technologist. "You do not know where you are or where you are heading. You have ascended on hot air. You have made promises that you're not able to keep. And now you expect people below you to fix your problem. The fact is that you are still in the exact same position and situation as before we met. But all of a sudden now, this is all my fault." The moral of the story is we have different areas of expertise and we speak different languages. Technology for IT people is not for our users necessarily. IT is not their area of expertise. IT are merely tools that they need to do their jobs, to be productive. Our job in the IT departments is to make sure that they have these tools available whenever they need them and that they are intuitive and easy to use. And when we are now in the situation of making a change and moving to Windows 7 or implementing virtual desktop solutions or what have you, we need to keep focus and track of our users. I recently met with a journalist for an interview where we were discussing the topic of Windows 7 migrations. And I asked him, if you leave your laptop in the office before the weekend and Monday morning you come back and your IT department has done a marvelous job. Your XP system is gone. They've made a fresh install of Windows 7 on your machine. They've put back all of your applications and even your data, your articles, your pictures, everything is there. The journalist, he looks at me and he almost went a little pale and he said, "For me, that would be just a disaster." A disaster because the applications and the data is one thing, but for me to be productive, I have customized and adapted all of my applications. Even an application such as the Microsoft Office suite and the application Word. I have customized it so that I, as a journalist, can work effectively and productively. I have a little button here. When I click it, all the windows align side by side so that I can look into several articles at the same time. I have my editing features, my dictionaries, all of these functions. I have personalized them and adapted it so that I can be much more productive. And even my printers, I personalize them to be productive. For this application, when I do printing, the printer is preset to print from shelf number 2 and to use duplexing and this kind of print quality for that application. For these files, I use another quality setting for the same printer, and all of these settings are my personalized settings that I have built it into the system over time. If my IT department has done a great job and delivered all my applications back, it is just half of the job. It would be a disaster for me. And I would use 2 to 3 to maybe 4 weeks to get all these settings and personalizations and elements to be productive again. These are the things that are important for the users. If you are planning to make a change to Windows 7 or to virtual desktops, you really need to consider this. You should look into separating all of these personalized settings and customizations of your users before moving to Windows 7. All of these elements can be separated from the applications and the operating system. This way, your users can be fully productive from the very first time they log on to the new Windows 7 desktop. And when Windows 8 comes along, or you decide to implement virtual desktops, you have already virtualized all of the elements that are important to the user. These are small and simple steps towards a future-ready desktop strategy, and it will even help you to deliver faster and more predictable outcome of your Windows 7 migration project. Thank you for listening. My name is Ole Sivertsen at RES Software, and remember, you can also follow me on Twitter at OK Sivertsen.